All right, we're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Family was talking to me. Sorry to keep you waiting for so long. And I need to go ahead and apologize because I had no idea that we had a brand new chapter out here today. Holster, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see everyone here today. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here. You caught me pre-shower, and I was literally getting ready. Stream this early? Yes, Ravi, because I forgot to do a reaction to the newest chapter of One Punch Man that dropped on Wednesday. A lot of things were happening on Wednesday, and I completely forgot about the chapter. So I wanted to go ahead and get that cleared out before the week is over, because later on this afternoon, we're continuing with Code Vein. So I decided to just go ahead and do this reaction early and get it over with because I got some things to do directly after. Eat some breakfast and then build some desks. I got to build a desk for my sisters, so I got to go ahead and get that done before this afternoon. So that's the reason why we're taking care of this reaction now instead of later on in the day as we tend to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to One Punch Man on a kind of rare Saturday reaction when it came out on when it came out on Wednesday, but that's me. That's my fault. So sorry about that. How's your morning been? Fantastic. I cannot complain. A day alive is another day I'm grateful for. That's really all I need. That's really all I need. If I'm alive to see the next day, I'm fine. Anything else good that happens to me throughout the day is just an added bonus. But last we left out on, in One Punch Man, we had a chapter that explained who Webby Gather is, all the things that were done to her, spurned on because of her jealousy of a My Mask. And the thing is, her story is a sad one due to the fact that she spent pretty much all of her life trying to chase after the popularity of a My Mask, even driving herself to undergo horrific experimentation and modification, taking copious amounts of experimental drugs just to make herself better than a My Mask, losing so much of her own humanity in the pursuit of fame and fortune just to be better than someone else. And we just see that she's a tragic story of what happens when people lose everything that they are in order to be better than someone else. So I want to say it was a really sad story of seeing her being this hero, but her just fighting through the pain of what her body goes through just so she can maintain this facade that she's happy, but it's like you did all of this to yourself. So, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. But let's see what happens in the newest chapter for today. Well, for Wednesday, Punch 221, New Blood. And we have Raiden. We have the Sumo Raiden apparently killing monsters with copious amounts of sumo slaps, literally hitting them so hard their faces are falling apart. Literally faces falling apart just from the slaps. Can you imagine getting hit so hard that your face explodes, but it's not from a punch, it is literally getting slapped in the face? Like you're getting popped in the face, but your face is literally flattening and spreading out and dismembering just from being slapped. Can you imagine being hit by someone like that? I know there's a game where people just slap each other for fun, but can you imagine getting hit by a dude as big as Raiden, the sumo dude, and then your face explodes? So he's slapping all of these monsters, literally decapitating some of them, just shoving their heads right off. And then he lifts his foot up and he squashes one underfoot, just like a full-on sumo stomp. Not stop, but stomp. You're a pro hero, huh? And he's standing in front of another hero. And this hero looks like they belong to the Heroes Association. And this hero was apparently being beaten up by these creatures. And he's just sitting there huffing and puffing, and he's scarred. And he doesn't say anything. Good thing we arrived in time. Leave the rest to us. And he's standing there, and we have the Neo Bidison dudes, and they're surrounding him going, "Way to go, leader, Neo, leader," I was about to say leader Neo. "Way to go, Neo leader Raiden! You don't even need a battle suit to smash monsters." "You did well yourselves. Even normal citizens who seem fragile and weak to me turn into powerful fighters surpassing average sumo wrestlers when wearing battle suits. However, modern weapons with neither blood nor sweat deaden human beings' primal instincts, so I have no need for them. For now. Now, let's finish off the rest." And he just smacks his side. I wonder what the reason is for that. I've never looked into it, but I wonder what the reasoning is for a sumo to slap their sides. Is this the cultural significance? I need to look that up later, because I find that kind of interesting, because I've seen that happen before. "Now, let's finish off the rest." And he walks off, and then this one hero gets up finally and goes, "They're tough and efficient. Their equipment and organization are impressive. Plus, their leader is the Raiden. They picked well. I almost want to follow them." Then we have the news. Monster alerts have sounded in city after city. Screen says monster attacks. Monsters appear in multiple communities. Many of the monsters are high level and dangerous, but reports indicate they're being eradicated. Exactly what is happening? Let's ask Emmett Bellish, our reporter on the ground.
"This place is a total disaster zone. A group of monsters suddenly appeared and wasted the Class C heroes that confronted them. Then the monsters threatened the good citizens of our city. At which point a new hero organization appeared instead of the Heroes Association. The fresh faces of Neo heroes were on the scene."
And we cut to Seiryu, who's in like this Neo Heroes APC. And hold on, let me make sure my voice isn't disconnected. Hold on. Okay, good. Because sometimes I forget that when I'm doing like video gaming streams, I forget to set that back. But we have Suryu, not Seiryu, Suryu, who's inside this Neo Heroes APC, and he's driving, and the news is playing in the background, and he's looking at a data pad that has Garo on the front.
Now for a commercial break. Enter a new era with Neo heroes.
And it's Webby Gather, basically doing a commercial showing off Neo Heroes. You know, the same way that Terrible Tornado was on a commercial, but she didn't exactly have the patience for doing a commercial, so it came off as like kind of awkward. Webby Gather is a perfect person to be doing a commercial showcasing the new hero organization that's out there.
Check out the first free issue of our webzine and get coupons for great savings.
And then the words on top says, "You're one of us." And then we cut to a city with multiple points of smoke coming up through the neighborhood. And then something cuts across the highway, causing tons of explosions in a rapid succession. And it's a giant snail that is literally mowing down everything on the highway at high speeds. Threat level, demon, super speed snail. And we have what appears to be, is that Axel? That's Axel. That's the dude, that's the rollerblade dude. And he's watching this snail just tear through the highway. The monster's in view. He's terrorizing drivers on the highway. Have you sealed the fork in the road? Then stand by at the toll gate as planned. I'll guide the target as necessary. And of course, he has a Neo Hero suit on, and it's incorporating bits of his rollerblades into it as well. And he's got a big old black battle axe. And he jumps off the building, while still on the phone going, "Neo Hunters are here to kick butt." And then that's actually what he says. I'm not substituting a word here. He actually says that. And he jumps down on the ground, and he starts peeling out, and he immediately starts skating at high speeds. And while he's going down the highway, he's skidding around the slime trail left behind by the snail. grinds up the wall, and then starts skating on top of the wall. And he starts catching up to the super speed snail. I'm at 390 kilometers per hour. My old conventional blade shoes would never have kept up. But my new gear catches up no problem. And he jumps across the snail, and using his axe, he slices straight through the super speed snail in an instant, pretty much killing it, with the snail just screaming out. And he just kills it right then. And that's the end of the chapter. This seems like another I won't say slice of life, but it seems like another chapter where it was just apparently just cutting to the regular goings on. Now, mind you, the reason why I bring this up is a lot of manga would just immediately stick with the most important parts, and oftentimes they won't focus on just like the casual goings on of the main characters and whatnot. And what I like about One Punch Man is that even though Saitama is the main character, there are tons of chapters where we don't focus on Saitama or even anyone that's remotely close to him at all. And we just see what the world is doing. A lot of the time, we just focus on what the world is doing in One Punch Man, giving us a lot better world building than versus, happenstance and word of mouth and just what happens in the main chapters of the main narrative. We see what's happening across the whole area with tons of different characters. Because who knew we'd have a chapter where we would have Axel being shown off and Raiden being shown off? Because sometimes they would probably just, in other manga, they would just be seen with the main character, or maybe something important was happening. They would just mainly be seen there. What in the world is this? Okay. So I like when One Punch Man deviates from like the more important main narrative moments and then just focuses on just like other people, because it fleshes out the world. Let me see. I don't like snails. They're creepy, and the thought of their slime causes me great discomfort. Now this is a monster. I hope doesn't get a new transformation like the clown did. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a gigantic snail that can move at high speeds, transforming and gaining human arms and legs? But it still keeps the same face? Can you imagine? And also, Halster, had no idea that you didn't like snails like that. Interesting. I had no idea. The thought of their slime causes me great discomfort. Just the fact that they leave behind slime. And this thing is leaving behind tons of slime on the highway. And mind you, it's moving at 390 kilometers per hour. So that's kilometers per hour. Let's tally that to miles. So 390 kilometers per hour is approximately 242.3 miles per hour, if you guys wanted a conversion like that. So this thing is moving crazy fast. Yeah, this thing is moving crazy fast, but it just gets sliced and cut through by Axel. But also, this was mainly a chapter showing off how people view Neo heroes, such as members of the Hero Association viewing someone like Raiden, showing up and demolishing these monsters like they're nothing, and Axel showing up and showcasing how much more he's able to do with the aid of Neo heroes. Now, I say all of this looks so good to those who join Neo heroes. All of this looks so good in the eyes of the people who are watching Neo heroes. And the publicity is even better for Neo heroes because it shows their own heroes helping out and saving heroes from the Hero Association, making it seem like the Hero Association is lacking in substantially powerful members, because we don't see that many S-ranks out there doing anything. We haven't seen anyone S-ranked handling any of these monsters or these threats lately. The most recent S rank we actually saw actively doing something was Genos. And he was out there responding to Blue just rampaging around, chasing after Saitama and a My Mask. And that was many chapters ago. It's mainly the slime that's the contributing factor. It goes for slugs too. Ah, I see. It's just the whole mucus thing that bothers you. I see. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Mucus is nasty. It's sticky. It's gross. I understand. I understand completely. But we haven't seen any S ranks from the Heroes Association doing anything substantial except for Genos. Meanwhile, Neo Heroes is taking advantage of this empty space that the Heroes Association would normally take up, and they're using all of their heroes who who were seen as like maybe B rank or C rank or whatever, and they're being put at the forefront, making it seem like Neo Heroes doesn't care about rankings like that, which makes it, in the eyes of the citizens, and let's think of this logistically. If you showcase your employees, your heroes, and you don't focus on what rank they are, and you just show them doing their job and then they're heading off to do the next thing, and you have multiple people that were limited to ranks in the Heroes Association, and they're just seen as just another hero in Neo Heroes, logistically, in the eyes of the public, it's like, oh, they got all of these heroes working together, and they're taking down these monsters. But here's the problem, though. A lot of these heroes in the Heroes Association that weren't strong, that weren't on the level they are now with Neo Heroes, that is simply because they were not strong to begin with, or they weren't on that level. They weren't on a level where they could compare to a lot more stronger heroes. See, here's the problem. The problem that I don't think many of these heroes are seeing, especially those who rely on battle suits to be way more powerful now, they don't understand that these battle suits are a crutch. Because they'll get addicted to how much power they... Because here's the thing. Because right here, and I believe you're thinking along the same lines of what I am, Halster, but let me continue on after I read this. They also seem to be beginning to influence the minds of the low-class heroes of the Heroes Association too, making them want to join them. Right, because you're having all these heroes come in and showcase how strong and how powerful they are, and that's making some heroes wonder if it's better to join with them as well. That sort of influence is very powerful when it's shown off and it's so seamless. And when you have someone like Raiden, big name heroes coming out of the way to help them, and then everyone else around them is strong enough to contend with themselves. And even Raiden says, like, let me go back to the beginning, because what Raiden says was true. Even normal citizens who seem fragile and weak to me turn into powerful fighters, surpassing average sumo wrestlers when wearing battle suits. However, modern weapons with neither blood nor sweat deaden human beings' primal instincts, so I have no need for them for now. That's the thing. And that goes back to what I'm saying. This reliance on battle suits to be powerful, when you yourself are weak, you are going to be left defenseless if those battle suits stop working, or if they are not capable of keeping up with more and more deadly monsters. And people like Raiden and Suryu, who don't need battle suits to be strong, will be fine, while everyone who has relied on these battle suits are going to be left up a creek without a paddle. Literally defenseless. And this is what I said beforehand, these battle suits are crutches. And here's another thing that I don't trust. There are so many monsters showing up lately. But you want to know one thing that many people may have forgotten? Remember when McCoy was under the table selling monsters to different organizations? Who's to say all of these monster attacks are not being perpetrated throughout the city just to make Neo Heroes look better? And this was a long time ago, before Neo Heroes even became a thing. McCoy was part of selling monsters in the underground. The Heroes Association had tons of monsters under their own base for experimentation. But who's to say McCoy has not been selling these monsters to use as shows of force from the Neo Heroes to make themselves look better? I would not be surprised, and mind you, this is a far-off theory. This is a very far-off theory. I would not be surprised if these monsters are deliberately being released just so Neo Heroes can clean up the mess and make themselves look good. This is literally Syndrome's plan from The Incredibles. I would not be surprised if these monsters are not just popping up simply because there's just an outbreak of monsters, and it's really just these monsters that were imprisoned by McCoy are being released just to make the Neo Heroes look better in comparison to the Heroes Association. Sure, if some civilians get hurt and there's collateral damage, it'll make Neo Heroes look better. But I don't trust how these monsters keep popping up, and Neo Heroes is always at the forefront to take care of them. I can't be the only one who finds that odd. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing too. Once that battlesuit is either destroyed or disabled, malfunctions, they're going to be in for a really bad time. It really is going to end up being a crutch. That's what I said. Also, I will say I am kind of excited to see Garo versus Suryu. Garo is probably going to win, especially if it's just Suryu by himself. Garo is just literally built different. The dude was so strong that God literally gave him the power of the universe to fight. Still lost to Saitama, but Garo was pretty much the second strongest person in existence at that moment. Oh, wait, you're right. I didn't think about that. That's a good shout. That's what I'm saying. I remember all the shady dealings that McCoy has been doing. Who's to say that he hasn't been using monsters he may have been hoarding or selling to other people to be released throughout the city in order to make Neo Heroes look good? Because haven't you noticed there hasn't been that many heroes from the Heroes Association taking down these monsters? It's been Neo Heroes. And you can't tell me that the S ranks haven't been available to take them down. Mind you, we haven't seen them in a while, but you can't tell me that there hasn't been a single S rank able to get a handle on these monsters. Yet, Neo Heroes is always there front and center to handle all of them? Webby Gather, Raiden, Axel, everyone. Everyone from Neo Heroes, but not a single person from the Heroes Association? It just tells me that these monster attacks are deliberate. And that's what I feel. I feel like these monster attacks are deliberately released by the Neo Heroes to make themselves look better. And it's all because of McCoy's dealings that he's been doing. All these dealings that he had going, because he had this going on during his time at the Hero Association. He already was trafficking monsters. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a hand in doing this and making it seem like Neo Heroes and making it look good. And mind you, the heroes that transition from the Hero Association over to Neo Heroes have no idea. They just see all these monsters and they just take them out. They're none the wiser. But McCoy is just releasing them so that when they kill them, it looks good for Neo Heroes. Completely forgot McCoy has his shady hands in this for a moment there. Yeah, McCoy, because here's the thing. McCoy has a massive monopoly against the Hero Association. Literally been secretly plotting against them, gathering every bit of information that they have. Involved in so many shady dealings under the table. And mind you, members of the Hero Association already suspect McCoy, and they're there to watch him, such as Second Gall and Emperor and Metalbat. Super Alloy is there because, well, he's depressed and, he wants to move away from the association that he still couldn't, deal with his PTSD from. So getting him, I feel like with Super Alloy Black Luster, Neo Heroes got to him because he was at his lowest point. In such a state of depression that suggestion was very strong against him. That's how I feel about Super Alloy Black Luster. He basically has been manipulated, and they preyed on his emotions and feelings just to get him to join. That's how I feel, because that dude has not been the same ever since, what is it? Emperor Ugly or Ugly Emperor, as he was called. But yeah, McCoy has a part in this. I feel it, because there's no way that there's these many monsters being released, and it's not a coordinated move from McCoy. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. But yeah, this was essentially just another showcase for Neo Heroes. And I say this again, this all just feels like a ploy. This is all probably going to backfire as well, because we're going through this whole arc, going through this whole like saga with the Neo Heroes right now. And I feel like this is probably going to end badly for McCoy because, I mean, Saitama. Because Saitama. And I feel like there's going to be a moment where Metal Bat, Second Gall, and Emperor finally get the information they need so they can bring down Neo Heroes. But as it stands right now, things are really working out for Neo Heroes in their favor. Because they're making heroes from the Hero Association look bad in comparison to their own crew. However, what the people who are in with Neo Heroes, who are none the wiser to the inner workings of the organization, don't realize is that if something happens to those battle suits that many of them, many weak, as Raiden says, weak, fragile people are relying on so much, they're literally, like you said, Halster, gonna be left with literally no avenue to survive if those battle suits crash, if they malfunction, if they break or are destroyed. So it's setting things up to make it seem like Neo Heroes is going very well right now. But I feel like the crash out is probably going to be way worse than Neo Hero actually thinks. That's just me. That's just me, though. Because the thing that made me feel... the thing that made me feel like this is a coordinated attack is the fact that the news said monster alerts have sounded in city after city. Many of the monsters are high level and dangerous, but reports indicate they're being eradicated. Exactly what is happening. And then the dude on the scene says this place is a total disaster zone. A group of monsters suddenly appeared and wasted the Class C heroes that confronted them. And how am I just now noticing Axel's name has a double pun in it? And he has an axe, and and his main thing is speed. You could say he's accelerating. Yeah, that's probably a pun on his name. But the news saying a group of monsters suddenly appeared and wasted the Class C heroes that confronted them. Then the monsters threatened the good citizens of our city, at which point a new hero organization appeared instead of the Hero Association. See? That tells me this was a coordinated attack. Instead of the Hero Association being there, a new hero organization appeared. The fresh faces of Neo Heroes were on the scene. Funny how they were there on the scene quickly. You know, they didn't have any people to muster. It didn't take time for them to muster. They were there when the monsters were rampaging. They knew. The Heroes Association wasn't there for us, but Neo Hero was. The same time these monsters suddenly attacked city after city after city. So this just reinforces my idea that this is a coordinated plan. This is coordinated by McCoy. Yeah, now that you've mentioned it, these are definitely planet monsters. Exactly. These monsters are planet. Not to mention a commercial shows up with Webby Gather in the midst of these monster attacks. So while people are pleading and trying to keep themselves safe, and the Heroes Association isn't exactly anywhere to be seen at the moment, you have them showcasing a commercial saying like, enter a new era with Neo Heroes. Check out the free first... Because here's the thing. This commercial pops up immediately after the news reports on these monsters attacking city after city and Neo Heroes showing up. So now, Neo Heroes also has a hand in propaganda as well. They got their fingers in the pot of the news. So right after the masses are being told that these monsters are attacking everywhere, you now immediately get a commercial showcasing this very same organization showcasing their services. Enter a new era with Neo Heroes. Check out the free first issue of our webzine. So already drawing people in with free stuff. And get coupons for great savings. You're one of us. Showcasing that we're here for the people, of the people, by the people. No, this channel is by the people, of the people, and for the people. Neo Heroes is in it for themselves. So this is all planned. The monster attacks, the news reporting, and then showcasing Neo Heroes in a commercial in a slot they more than likely purchase for themselves right as the news is being reported. This is all a coordinated strike by McCoy. And you may say, oh, you're giving McCoy too much credit. No, I'm not, because this dude has been shady ever since we first saw him. So this is planned. Super Speed Snail? Yeah, I imagine this creature was let out by McCoy to cause destruction, just to showcase the capabilities of the battlesuit from someone like Axel, just to make Neo Heroes look better. Because all these creatures that have been released, actually, you want to know what I think? I think ever since Neo Heroes was first established and we started to get an increasing number of monsters, not just now it's making me rethink all of these monster attacks that have happened ever since Neo Heroes has shown up. I'm starting to think that all of these monster attacks that we've been seeing increasing in number, even before Suryu got out of the hospital, I want to say it's because they've been letting them out. Just to make Neo Heroes look better and better over time. This increasing number of monsters, it's not because there's been an increasing number of monsters being the things being monsterized and it's like vestiges of the Monsters Association. I want to say that ever since Neo Heroes has been let out, I strongly believe every major outbreak of monsters has been them. To be fair, they have been trying to spread propaganda for a bit now with making their heroes comment of my mask make the Heroes Association look bad. This is just them going to that next step. Yeah. But yeah, I strongly feel that every major monster outbreak ever since Neo Heroes has started to get a foothold has been them. This isn't just random monster attacks, this has been them. And when these monsters get killed by members of Neo Heroes, it just makes them look better. Sure, we may have some monsters that pop up every now and again and it gets killed by someone other than Neo Heroes, but if they get killed by Neo Heroes, I want to say that they are let out. Wait, do you think that includes the clown too? I hope not. Because I don't think Neo Heroes has that much information to use that as a way to besmirch a My Mask. I think the clown may have been just like an actual monster just out there and not necessarily one released by Neo Heroes. So I don't think the clown is a part of them, because that's a separate matter entirely. Because we didn't get anybody from the did we get someone from Neo Heroes show up? We got the former members of the Narinki group. We had them, but they were just security for the amusement park. But we didn't get anyone from Neo Heroes. We had more heroes from the Hero Association show up. But I don't think the clown was a part of them. That's how I feel. I don't think the clown was a part of them. But I do strongly feel like Neo Heroes probably had a part to play in this outbreak of monsters that's been happening from city to city, though. Yeah, I don't believe the clown was a part of Neo Heroes and they let it out. I think that's just a separate case. Because the whole matter with the My Mask seems way too personal. Not coordinated, but just way too personal of a stake for it to be related to Neo Heroes at all. It works in their favor because it made the Hero Association look bad to everybody else, well, because of a monster within their ranks. But I don't think Neo Heroes had anything to do with it. But all these other monsters, I think so. And I'm just looking at Axel. He's terrorizing drivers on the highway. Have you sealed the fork in the road? Then stand by at the toll gate as planned. I'll guide the target as necessary. Neo hunters are here to kick butt. And then we just see Axel basically slice this snail apart, shell and all. And that's the end of the chapter. All right, so now I don't think we'll get another chapter until March. That's how I feel. But as it stands here, I am even more suspicious of Neo Heroes because, mind you, what I'm thinking is probably just a far off theory. It's probably got no grounds to stand on. But I don't trust Neo Heroes to be doing things. I feel like I trust Neo Heroes to do something like this. But that, like I said, that's just my opinion on the matter. But this was an interesting chapter all the same. Interesting. But that's all I got for you guys this morning. I got some stuff to do. But ladies and gentlemen, probably won't be until March, I agree. Yeah, because we only got one chapter in January. We only got one chapter today in February. I feel like we'll only get one in March as well. Probably either in the beginning of March or maybe in the middle of March. But other than that, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Interesting chapter, and it just makes me wonder about what else McCoy has been doing to make Neo Heroes look better in the eyes of the people. But we'll have to see for the next chapter. Halster, Ravi, everyone else who has watched me this morning, all I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Even consider checking out my Patreon. There's tons of free stuff for you guys to check out over there because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!